Yeah. What's good, Rob?
Nothing much, man. How are you?
I'm ready to get this pain out of the way. You know, the pain that freaking is called fucking retribution, bitch. Oh my fucking god. Let's get this over with. Let's. Let's. You could.
I thought I had it bad last night, but it sounds like it's still affecting you.
I am literally more pissed off about that shit than anything. I mean, what the fuck were they thinking? Dude, I need a swear jar. Shit. I mean it. Like, what the bloody fuck were they thinking?
I honestly don't think anybody was thinking, or the people that were supposed to be thinking were not thinking. I think that's the easiest way to go that route. But yeah, you're pretty much right on the money. It was something, and I'm what you would call a person who just doesn't like. I know what's good, and I know what's like mediocre when it comes to Raw. I've been watching it almost all my since I was 13, 14 years old, and it takes a lot for me to be like, this sucks. This sucks more than anything that's ever sucked before. And uh and I gotta say, Vince and company made it very 1995-esque type show last night. And I'm talking you had your Waylon Mercy's back then, you had the Goon. um and I kind of felt bad for those guys. They actually they you, I don't know, it's just, oh god, the first thing I thought of when that show ended last night, I was looking at my iPad and my buddy's like, "Can you believe what they did to Dijak?" And I'm like, and the first thing that came to me was just thinking about the history that Dijak and Keith Lee have had over the past couple of years. You think about all those matches,
Yeah,
you know,
it
and it's like, it's not that it's obviously gone, but that that kind of dynamic seems like it's gone for now. And that's the easiest way to say it. It's gone for now, which is okay. We've had those matches a lot, but when you see how bad Raw has been, and how many and granted, they, if anybody can kill that rivalry, it's going to be Raw by giving that match to us 200 times in 150 weeks. That's how the rematch system is brutal. There was just so much last night that was just way off. You had so many disqualifications. I can't. It sucks. And I think somebody talked about it last night in the Fightful post show chat that AEW's only had one disqualification since it started. Maybe two, but I know at least one. That is ridiculous compared to WWE had four in a matter of 2.5 hours.
what the
And it's just,
fuck did they do? Like, it's. I'm sorry, but this is Anakin's right. This has literally been stuck in my craw all day, and I'm literally been like holding this for right now. We've talked off the air about this. We've talked in our own DMs, but and you told me you wanted to go off on this,
well,
but
and I did last night when I said that, I really did. And I think the problem is I've calmed down from it, because I was like, literally, it was so bad last night that I actually almost didn't even want to watch the post show because I didn't want to go through it. But I'm like, if anybody can make me laugh about this, it's gonna be Sean and Denise. And I watched it, and I was in the fetal position and I cried a lot. But no, I didn't cry. Um, but they did make me laugh, so that was good. And when they made me laugh, it wasn't Raw related usually, but it's kind of like,
yo,
when your
Anakin, you could
parents.
send me a jersey. If you have a fifth of Heineken, you can send Rob a freaking bottle of vodka.
Nah.
You could send whatever at this point.
Y-
I can honestly say this, and I'm gonna say this straight out. I was very prideful of Dijak being from Worcester. I was, and now after seeing what they did to him, dude, yeah.
well, there's nothing wrong with still liking him. It's not like, I guarantee you he didn't say, "Hey Vince, what do you think about this?" And Vince was like, "That's a good idea, pal. I guarantee you that
I
didn't
should be
happen."
wearing that shirt right now from Fightful. Uh, Tim and Anakin, thank you guys for coming. If you guys could tweet out that we're live and that I'm very irate right now because of all this shit, yeah, this is gonna be an entertaining show with me going off. I mean, think about it. When's the last time I ranted about something?
Yeah, and it was. I mean, Jimmy Van tweeted out something that they're going to be doing tomorrow on the list in your boy about like he's going to talk about the positives of Raw, and a lot of the jokes to the replies were, "Well, this is going to be a quick segment type thing," and he's right. I went back and thought about it, like what were the positives? In my opinion, the positive for one thing that I like and was being able to see Ricochet. I he Ricochet. I know he needs to be on TV every week. He just does. He is. They need to give him a chance. Like I don't know how other way to say it. He could be the guy, and I've said that plenty of times. Does his mic work need help? Yes. There's a lot of people that need mic help. So that was a good thing for me. That was a positive for me. Not necessarily it for everybody else, but the other thing I liked, and as weird as it was, I actually liked the Bianca Belair. I like Bianca Belair getting a promo. I do like that. So that tells me there's a chance we might actually see her um, soon again. Which why they are just realizing this will always baffle. I almost went off again. Will always baffle me.
I'm
Um,
doing fine. I'm pissed off right now,
and
and Rob's doing an amazing job keeping
and
me reeled in.
the thing too that and I Mandy Rose when she gets there that that might help, but that also takes away from others. Like, and that's not on her either. That's on whatever the hell they're doing. Like Vince and uh, Bruce Pritchard are doing, like creative. I mean, those are the two you hear about. I mean, there's other people that have a say and give Vince ideas, but these are brutal. And those were like my three takeaways from last night. And I do like seeing. I actually I enjoyed the. It wasn't really a big deal, but I just thought it was kind of funny when all those cups fell for the Street Profits, and then the next people that come down the ring was Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy. And I don't know if anybody really paid attention to it. I just found it kind of humorous that you see Seth Rollins kicking the cups out of the way. I thought that was kind of funny.
Now you
Um,
made me smile. That's pretty good.
yeah, yeah, and I don't even think it was really intentional. It was just kind of like he's like, get this crap out of here. And you know that it, those were some of the positives. I mean,
The the negatives outweigh the positives in this, and
oh yeah, wait,
like
wait, it.
the the thing about it is, and I want to touch back on Retribution because going down through everything because I showed you all the notes and stuff that I took. They're trying really hard to make this like a Mad Max. The best thing I saw about this, and like I said, it's well documented on the show, that I am not my sister's son, that I am not that in tune with AEW a lot. That's why I have people like you, Rob, on and other people on. But God, they're trying to make this into a Mad Max thing. And the one thing I would bring in the AEW thing back is the the faction that they have there, the Nightmare Collective, that this is a ripoff of it. I mean, come on, the colors in an old school horror film. But on a compliment aspect of this, and I thought about this also, what do you think of the idea of the Hurt Business's evolution? Is this generation's evolution?
Um, I I wouldn't be opposed to it. I think they have a ways to go for that. I think, um, and I don't know if they'll go that far because I don't know. MVP has been amazing. He really has been this year. He would actually, if you think about it, if let's say right now is December 31st and you came like for, if you would have told me that MVP would have a bigger impact in the WWE in 2020 over Edge, I would have never believed you in 100 years. Like, because we knew Edge was coming back, so that's what I'm saying. If you would have told me, like, if both, and that could be different, right now, saying if Edge never got hurt, what could be going on, but I'm just saying, I would have never picked MVP, and I know MVP's always been good, but I just didn't know that he was still this damn good.
Yeah,
And I've actually seen more out of him, and that's amazing, and that's great
I
because I've always liked him. So
I can basically like point out that there with MVP, he's in the hunter role. Lashley
yeah,
is Batista in that manner,
I
like the body
I can
type
see
and
MVP
stuff.
more in the flair way, but like he has more of the flair aspect, but as far as the mic skills go, it goes Triple H. So I know exactly what you're
Yeah,
saying.
just like if you went through the line, Orton could be Alexander Cedric, and then you've got Shelton in the Flair mold because obviously Shelton has more years other than all of them in the
Yeah.
WWE. So I mean, it's a compliment. It really is because I look
Oh
at
yeah.
Evolution, but I mean the Hurt Business is gonna be doing great things. I really like that aspect, but God, we'll get to the end of that freaking thing.
Yeah. The only thing about Retribution that looked even remotely good was Dion Madden
Yeah,
or Dion. Yeah, he was the only one. He was the only one that actually looked.
he went all in on this, and
Yeah.
and out of all of them, really, I'm pulling for Dio just because of how
Yeah,
good of
I
that.
said Dion, but I meant Dio.
Um,
Yeah.
but Tim and Joel are saying, having time to leave WWE, do the indies in New Japan, hone his characters, and do great podcasts to provide his value. Yes, I fully agree on that. The the thing about it, as you pointed out, was the triple threat, the solo cup thing. I'm actually enjoying because every time they come out now, I have that song, that country song, stuck in my head. Um,
Oh, the Toby Keith.
yeah, but
Yeah.
they've been beating this dead horse nonstop between Garza, Andrade, the Prophet, Seth, and Murphy, Dom, and the list goes on and 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 on.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, when is this going to end? Will it ever end? And the thing is yeah, like we all knew that. Well, I pretty much knew that Andrade was going to win. The only thing that, or Andrade and uh, Garza were going to win, because I did not see them going the. I didn't. In a way, I thought they might go with Seth Rollins and Buddy. That way, they could finally finish whatever this is between Seth and Buddy, where they kind of go their own separate ways, or at least start a feud against each other. That's what I thought could happen. But when they went to the Andrade um, win, I'm like, again, oh my god. The only thing that I can say that I kind of, and I don't even really want this because we had it already, but we had the Street Profits and Bianca versus um, against Andrade Garza. We've had that, and it's frustrating because there's so much that they could do, and it goes down again to storytelling. I don't know why the hell they got so lazy with their storytelling with the matches. I don't know why they can't figure out that people do not want to see the same match every week, and it gets to the point when you see so many talented people, you could have matches, and you honestly do not have to have a story with every match. You really don't need to. Like, I mean, I'll give you an example. Like, it would be perfectly fine to have a Ricochet versus a Kevin Owens match here and there, and just let both guys go off and do their own thing. Just have a standard match like AEW does. That's all we want. We want good matches, and we want them to. They don't always have to make sense. I get that, but we want more, and there's no reason why we can't get something different. We don't.
We deserve it.
I, oh yeah, we definitely deserve it because it comes like if you look at and I hate going back to this, but they're doing it right. If you look at AEW, Dean Ambrose, look at that. John Moxley barely even got to touch MJF before their match at All Out. That's the kind of stuff that needs to happen, and like it used to in the WWE. You used to not be able to see your guy, like Stone Cold couldn't get a hold of The Rock. He couldn't get a hold of him. Now you're watching each week. You're watching Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre get the best of each other. I don't want them to be able to get to each other type stuff. There's nothing there's nothing about this match that just keeps me intrigued. And I know I'm kind of going all over the place, but if you think about it, they're not going to put the title on Randy. I don't think, because it just doesn't make sense. I don't think Randy's going to be bringing ratings over. I just
I
don't.
think Randy's one who flew over the cuckoo's nest. And I'll be very blunt about this, and I want to dip into some of the stuff of the match on the triple threat. We'll go back to it in a second. But the only good thing about Raw last night was Randy's promo.
Oh,
I mean, the only good thing that I took out of it, and the whole time I was just sitting there, just like, why waste a good promo on with Randy doing this, which Randy's nuclear hot right now. Everybody can agree to it. Ever since the beginning of the year when he turned, and everybody said last year, and it was pointed out last night, people thought he should have been with somebody with Shelton for a while or whatnot. In the Raw review for Fightful with Sean and Denise, which honestly, you guys have to see that if you don't see that on Monday nights. It's awesome. But it's just, it's just insane.
yeah, and the other thing too that I did like, and I didn't mention it, but it was the whole. What they did make sense of last night was the whole Shane Kevin Owens thing, like where they still don't like each other. Like they were acting like cordial, but you could tell they still didn't like each other. And Kevin Owens did the smart thing. He knew that Shane was going to bring out uh, Baba, whatever, I can't even remember his name.
Kato.
Yeah, Baba. I was gonna say Baba Gooey. I'm like, that's not even close.
This ain't Howard Stern. We don't have that money.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, I can't remember his name, but it was close. So, and I knew, like, and when Kevin Owens says, "Well, I knew to expect this of you, so I invited Braun Strowman." That part made sense. That might have been, other than Randy, that might have been the only other damn thing that made sense last night.
I was laughing during the KO show. They were making fun of each other, making fun of their history and stuff. I thought it was funny.
It was. What I'm saying, it was good. That made sense because they were talking about the history between each other. Like, I would have figured you would have done something like that. That's why I brought him. And I gotta admit, with them, okay, that's another thing I just realized. With Alistair grabbing Kevin Owens and pulling his legs into the corner, I mean, obviously that
hurts.
That hurts. But somebody made a good point of that last night.
I'm gonna say this before you go into your point, but boom, right in, that line from a cartoon, boom, right in the kisser, boom, right in the kisser, boom, right in the kisser. Be like, oh, ooh, ooh. That was brutal. Every male in America just basically like literally was like, oh.
Well, see, that's not true because my ex has mine on a mantle somewhere, so I don't know what it's like anymore. But yeah, I didn't get them back. But what I wanted to say is, and somebody mentioned this last night, but did you notice how his eye was covered again?
Yeah.
So they went from the eye being covered to him having a match where it was no longer covered back to being covered. What in the holy hell was that about? And that's more crap that doesn't make sense.
This is gonna be a fun night. Let the festivities begin.
What in the hell was that about? Because it just, all we want is the same thing. We want the show to make sense. I know the one thing that's been going on and on lately is about Vince McMahon. Like, has been like how he treats his wrestlers. Like, are they independent wrestler? Are they independent? Are they employ stuff like that. I know a lot of people are frustrated with that, and I get that.
I
And I'm talking from coming from a fan's perspective. From things I've read online, is there are a lot of people that don't like Vince, and I get that. But from a standpoint, they want they want wrestling to be good. They want WWE not to suck.
yeah.
That's what they want. That's all they want. That's why they prefer AEW.
Well, that's why,
And
like
I
you
love
said,
that AEW gives us.
that's why you say like they prefer AEW because of the fact that a lot of the stuff now, except for NXT, and I'm very shocked and about SmackDown turning around as quick as it has.
Well, that's the
But
thing about about WWE. If you pay attention to it, it seems like
what up,
how
Wild Boy?
often can you say that WWE and or Raw and SmackDown had great episodes like back to back? Like it seems like they go. It seems like they put all their eggs in one basket for this show for a month. Then it goes to that one. Then it goes to this one.
I,
It goes to this.
I'm at the point, and I want the chat's opinion on this. If I have to choose between, because I'm really getting really curious about this, and I was going to ask you about this in a second, but if I had to choose between, and I'm going to take AEW out of the complication because they're Monday nights. If I had to choose watching something on their live stream, the network, and Raw's on there sometimes, if I had to choose between watching this Raw or watching NXT UK, I wish I could just turn around and say put NXT UK back on. I literally wish. But the thing is that they've run Raw into the ground. They've are so out of touch. I mean, like they Owens, and what he did was the smart thing, and it was a good point about that. But the match on the triple threat, you're regurgitating the same sit. But
Mhm.
The only thing that made me pop during that triple threat was that sunset bomb that Dom does. That spot is always nice. And then the wing
Yeah.
clipper, and they won. But I mean, that's the same weird things.
The, yeah. The only other thing I was going to ask is what are your thoughts on Raw Underground now that it's been around for a little? Is it been over a month now? It's been around a month and a
Yeah,
half.
pretty much. I believe so.
What What do you think?
I think it's okay. I mean, I love the fact that it's actually showing people that are on there, like Jessamine Duke and Rick Moss and just Ziggler and stuff, and people they're not absolutely using. On the other hand, it's only for short periods, and it's just senseless stupidity sometimes. Oh, you're gonna have a former Universal Champion, Braun Strowman, go against somebody who has won underground matches. Now, what are you gonna do with that? So you're gonna have the whole thing where this is not Raw Underground is the equivalent, and I just said this about movies. Fight Club. I have not seen anybody point this out. It is Fight Club. It
Because we're not
is
supposed to talk about Fight Club.
exactly, but it is Fight Club. It is WWE's version of Fight Club. That's all it is. Shane had the
Oh yeah.
idea to be
Well,
like, oh, let's put people against who are not we use. Oh, let's have an empty ring and stuff like that. the this
yeah.
ain't this is bullshit. It really is. It's like you're regurgitating. Now, like I said, I've warned everybody. I'm going to be ranting a lot tonight. I do apologize for this. I am literally livid about all this shit, and I've been holding it for this. So this is my therapy right now, and I'm sorry, Rob.
No, it's fine. Go in, man. It's I got my crap out of the way. I mean, the only other thing I was gonna say that kind of was, well, we all know that Buddy Murphy or that Seth Rollins Mysterio thing was really
Oh
weird.
God.
Um, and
Do you
the fact
remember
that it
those?
just kind
That's
of,
the original storyline.
oh yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that was stupid, but
I actually
Eddie made
saw.
it gold. He made it as best as he could.
And I'm lucky. I mean, I know. I've seen Eddie Guerrero versus Rey Mysterio in person, and holy crap, I've seen them at a house show wrestle against each other, and I've seen them at Judgment Day 2005, and it's it. I didn't know where they were going like everybody else, so I was kind of like, what the hell are they doing? And I'm like, okay, they're kind of starting like they normally do, where we cringe, but it'll get better. We just don't know what they're doing. Okay, I'm still waiting to not cringe. I'm still waiting. What the hell? Seth is done. I'm still cringing. That's how. No, that seemed like a train wreck.
It,
But I hope there's more to it. It sounds like there is because it went back to they showed Buddy talking to Aaliyah, I believe her name
yeah.
is. Uh, so so I'm hoping that gives us something like down the road.
You want to get a laugh,
Or not
by the
down the
way?
road. I hope it just
We've been ranting
what's up?
about Raw for 25 minutes straight.
Yeah, I know we gotta move on here soon, but
No,
um,
I want to get this out of my system, and
yeah.
I'm not gonna
But
make
so
it.
that's
I'm not gonna make it 20. I'm not gonna make it 30 minutes. I
yeah.
promise.
But yeah, honestly, I think that's it. I think I've covered everything that drove me nuts, other than seeing the same McDonald's commercial 368 times. But
I think the line of the night, though, there was a couple of them for promos and segments. The one where for the for Drew and Keith's match, he goes in and right before that and says that Drew has beer on the mind, where he's like, "Yep, well, Lee's gonna buy me a beer, or he's gonna buy me a beer." That was pretty nice. Um, the match with Lee and Drew shouldn't have, it, to me, honestly, that's a pay-per-view match. That ain't a fucking Raw match.
well, everything's a Raw match, and that's what sucks. Is it's I mean, let's say, and this is more WWE programming. Let's say that they do the same thing they did last year, Survivor Series, where they have all three brands going against each other. It's not going to be any special if you have Roman Reigns in a ring with Keith Lee every week up for a month and a half. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They got that was that was you can't do this. You got to go back to the days of like what we call yesteryear. Don't let these guys in the
Make
same
me
ring.
feel
There's no
old.
reason for it.
Speaking of old,
Yeah, you have.
my buddy's birthday, if he's probably watching, happy birthday, Roddy. 35 and still freaking kicking, and you're an old fart. I have to make something light about all this Raw stuff too. But you're right. You're absolutely right about all this. It really is. It's the segment with Aaliyah and Murphy is going to set up something where Murphy goes back to Seth and drags Aaliyah into it. God, how long has this program gone between him, Seth, and
You know,
Murphy now?
yeah, and I keep saying the only other thing I'll mention, how the last thing I'll mention, it just came to me too, and I mentioned it on Twitter earlier. I would not be freaking surprised. Yeah, I would not be freaking surprised if next week. I'm saying I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's going to go the other way, obviously. But it would shock the hell out of me. Or if Raw actually did better ratings next week, because I'm sure there's a lot of people want to see if they can make it worse by any chance. You
It's
know,
like
I mean,
it's like people. The best description I could say about Raw last night. It's like a train wreck.
oh yeah.
Everybody likes watching a train wreck. It, there's certain aspects of this was pretty good. I'll give credit to that. But the majority of the negative stuff outweighed the positive, and that it shouldn't be like that. It should be the other way around, right?
So, so we've been at 30 minutes for this now, according to
No,
Anakin.
he's saying 30
So,
minutes, 30 minutes. He's just like, what
oh,
the hell, 30 minutes? Like, I'll
oh,
give you this, right?
okay. I didn't know what he was talking about.
The line where, Orton says about now he understands how he feels, and he's talking about he's going to flatline. That promo was good. Oscar
Oh,
promo and then Billy Kay and everything, that was not good. And then the match with
no,
Vega and James having Zelina win after all the bullshit you did, all that fucked up shit you did last week. I don't care if I get
I was fine
monetized for
with it.
this shit or if I get hit with a copyright. I don't give a flying fuck.
No, that's the thing. I was fine with it because they're not gonna put the they're not gonna put the title on Mickey. So you might as well at least give us a. And I don't think they're gonna put the title on Vega yet either. But at least give us.
And it's on the kickoff
Uh,
show.
well, yeah, but and I think David Bixenspan said it today, and it's a good point that where's all the outrage for that? But I know there's another women's match, so because everybody was giving all out or AEW crap for them putting Britt versus Big Swole on the on the preview show, on the pre-show. So, but I get it. It's just one of those things where, um, yeah,
DGMC,
it
it was
was.
literally pulling like it was like pulling hair from a newborn baby and hear them cry. It was that horrific.
Have you ever seen the movie Step Brothers?
Yes, that was a good movie.
Okay, so this, like, if somebody asked me, hey, would you watch Raw one more time, or would you rather go to an elementary playground and get your ass kicked by a bunch of uh, first, second graders, maybe third graders? I would actually choose the elementary school. Those kids should get all their aggression out, and I would let them beat the hell out of me just because I don't want to go through that Raw ever again. They shouldn't even put this Raw on the network when it's available.
They
That's
probably
how bad it
won't.
was.
They probably won't.
But yeah. So, anyways, sticks and stones may break my bones, but I'm gonna kick you in the balls repeatedly. Gardaki.
Oh
That's
boy.
one of my favorite lines from that whole movie.
Uh,
I use it all the time. But yeah, it's okay. That's all I got for Raw. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
I'm sorry, we are clipsing it, but I mean, you know, Alexander's promo, Braun basically beating the crap out of Davikato. That was a false freaking hype thing. You know, the whole Rollins bullshit. I mean, it's bad enough that you have Nia and Baszler in a tag team and they absolutely are destroying, squashing Lana and stuff, which I understand. I get that.
That's you got to admit it's kind of weird that she goes through the table 2 weeks in a row ever since
It's definitely like a receipt, and but
it's a
but
riff
I
if anything. But
but at the end of Raw, I actually one thing I did like was the fact that the whole locker room came out to support everybody, and that's a good thing. But
yeah,
none about the whole deviant aspect of fucking Raw bull fucking.
should we just go ahead and get our Clash of the Champions stuff out of the way?
Uh, well, why don't we talk about SmackDowns, considering the fact that SmackDown was pretty good, and we've
Okay.
and you in NXT from what I get, because I'll be honest, I've been so exhausted with working as much as I have been. Um, I've been trying to keep up with it, and it's kind of hard at times, and I feel so horrible about it because I'm not doing justice for the show, but I'm trying to keep up with it, especially health wise. Um, but I thought the promo from Balor, by the way, on NXT was really good. I thought the match with Thatcher and Priest was very physical. It was very technical a little bit from Thatcher's aspect, but it could have been better. A lot of this stuff could have been better. I mean, the announcement that they put out for the gauntlet and you know, the whole match for the try to get number one contender for the women's. Let's be honest, and I'm gonna be very frank about it. They're gonna give that to Rhea. They've already hinted at that. They're just covering to make everybody else important.
Well, I'm kind of curious to see what NXT is going to look like after that SmackDown or after that um, Fightful report about a bunch of people
Yeah, the
having
COVID thing. Yeah,
COVID. I'm very curious to see what they do there. I hope everybody, obviously, first and foremost, I hope everybody is okay. That's more important than entertaining me. Um, first, I really hope that everybody's okay. So, I mean, I get it. If anything has to change, that makes perfect sense, obviously. I am just, like I said, I'm just curious to see who's going to be put in. Because Kyle O'Reilly, he missed a lot of time because he's high risk for like the when I say high risk for COVID, he has I think he has diabetes, so that plays a from what I've from what I've read is that plays a big part. Like if you get COVID, it's a pretty having
yeah.
diabetes,
It's really risky.
is
Yeah,
not a good. Yeah, and it's risky for anybody, but he did the right thing. Um, so I'm wondering if I hope he's still in the match because it looks like he was starting to get his push. So I really hope that stays. I hope he wrestles, but if he doesn't, I completely understand. um,
Well, I
because
said
health is more
I'm
important.
gonna say this will be on tomorrow when I record with Wild Boy. We're gonna talk about our our influences with wrestling. Um, just yeah, shameless plug on that on the anchor side of it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, you already told me it was Henry Godwin earlier, so that's good.
thank you, thank you very much.
Yeah, no
I'll
problem.
thank you.
I just want to give people a spoiler. That way
Uh,
they know to tune in.
um, we're gonna. It's just gonna be a sit down one on one with me and Wild Boy. We're gonna talk about the stuff like we are. It's gonna be a mini match memory where we're gonna talk about our favorite matches and you know we both sat down and agreed and we're going to talk about the influence of wrestling with our parents and stuff, which I really am appreciative for him sitting down and talk to me about all this stuff. um I I'm going to say this much, that with NXT, it's just going to be interesting in the COVID thing. It's going to affect Raw, SmackDown, and I just want to say thank God it's not affecting the UK brand, because now this could possibly put the UK brand front and center, and there's a lot of talent. That side of it is stacked, and especially with Pete Dunne coming back ripped, that tweet he put on notice. Um, but it's just going to be interesting to see now what they are going to have to do to rally back after, because let's be honest, we don't know what the show's going to look like on SmackDown. It's Tuesday and it's a few days away, so we don't even know what tomorrow night's going to look like considering all this.
Well, yeah, I got nothing going on, so Friday, if they want me to wrestle, I can be down there. Um, I mean, shit, I already look like Goofy, so I can just fill in Orlando as
Hey, my
Goofy.
Retribution name is
Um,
Ollie changed. I mean, think about that.
yeah. Oh, mine's Thunder Thighs is one I gave myself. Um, that that's just what I went
I
with
I,
because it's
I was
so
gonna post
bad.
one for Wild Boy and be like, it's Barry White, because somebody said that on his. That actually made me smile today. But it
No, his should be. Have you've seen Pulp Fiction,
yes.
right? He should be the like Samuel L. Jackson to Wallet, Bamf, badass motherfucker. That's Wild Boy.
I agree. And Anakin could be just Anakin, drop the JMT and have a lightsaber. He'll beat the crap out of everybody with a force choke. And Tim could probably
Yeah,
be somebody where I'm loving the fact that we're not talking about that stuff right now. But Tim could be like a freaking Iron Man type of thing, and Tim and Joel could be like the best tag team ever, which is a lot of fun things to call. But
yeah.
they could be FTR. I mean, who knows? But I already said it'd be Anakin. You drop that, and you'd be like Anakin Vader. Anakin Star Wars. I'm sorry, but I mean, the matter is that SmackDown is now catching up, in my opinion, to NXT. Raw is starting to become a lost cause. But NXT is now slowly deteriorating, and it's not their fault. It's because the main roster's picking up is taking apart half of what their good thing is. Um,
Well, it's yeah. But there's also things that don't make sense there too. If we go into it, because if okay, if they're really trying to make if they're really trying to make Roman Reigns a heel,
I love Roman's
why are they?
gimmick though. By the way,
Oh, I love this, but I don't understand why they haven't had him like. I know, like at the end of this past SmackDown, he Roman eyed him down like when Jay left, but I don't get that. Like, why? I thought we're not supposed to like this guy. Why are you letting him? And I know that he's doing the whole family thing, but I don't get it. It's weird. You shouldn't have. Basically, what I'm saying is, if you don't want me to like somebody, don't have him kicking Baron Corbin and Sheamus's ass. Is basically what I'm saying.
yeah, it
Because like we're gonna love the guy if you do that. Because and I've said it before. I do not talk negative about the wrestlers themselves because they are all unbelievably talented. So when I say this about Baron Corbin, it's a compliment. He is annoying and he's doing his damn job really well because nobody likes him. That means he's so damn good at his job. And the same goes for Sheamus. You get tired and annoyed. And I know there's a difference between you see the guy in the match all the time, but when you don't want to see him because he annoys the crap out of you. And if you're putting those two guys on TV going against one or two guys, I'm gonna root for the other two guys. So the thing is I like this Roman. If you wanted me not to like him, you should have him go against like beating the crap out of Matt Riddle or and Matt Riddle. That's a whole different topic. But I'm just like Jeff Hardy or um, just really anybody. It's just I don't get it again, and I don't understand how you want me to maybe eventually root for somebody when they're kicking your two most annoying heels ass every week. I don't get that.
Yeah, it really doesn't make any sense. It,
And like you said you really love Roman during this. I do too, but I'll be the first one to say Jay has impressed me big time. And I know Jay's always been really talented in the ring, obviously, but like he has he could have a he could have a singles career if it came if he needed to. And that the same goes for his brother. That they both could. They're both that talented. But I gotta say, Jay has really impressed me too.
I think it's interesting that they picked Jay out of all the people that they could have, and I think it's interesting because Jay is very athletic, and the story's there, and we're already seeing it, and there's more and more interest in this. But I really think they could have just wait till his brother too came back, Jay's brother, and Jimmy basically, and they could just. It's not going to split, but they can
Yeah.
set it up as a family competition.
But the thing too, where this comes into play is if you don't bring in, and if he's not there, like in this feud, what the hell is he doing? He's sitting at home, so you might as well have something that makes sense. And in the long run, what I'm kind of hoping happens is I would kind of like those three to be like heels. I would like those three just
Create a
whipping
stable and
ass.
literally destroy.
Yeah,
I think Roman's going to hold the title all the way until Mania. Now, because
and let Big E beat him.
I think E's going to lose at least, but I think if COVID is gone, they could go one of two ways. Now, it's in Hollywood.
Yeah,
Rock lives in
I
Hollywood. I mean,
I know.
it
Yeah,
could be that they could try to pitch him that if he has nothing going on and everything. If not, I think E could stand up. But it's we're basically it's shoots and ladders right now. But this program they're doing with Jimmy, no, I mean Jay, sorry, is just it's really good. I just was hoping they would
hmm
wait until like going into the Rumble or something like that to make it more fun, more interesting. But God, this is good. It's not like that fucked up show that was from last night. The the other thing that has me interesting about SmackDown is Alexa. I
yeah.
am very curious what they're doing with her. Very. And so the whole thing is just like it. You see her snap 1 minute and she's like, I don't know what it is. It could be make it some way where it's like a disorder. They were trying to explain it. The Fiend did something. I wouldn't be surprised that she keeps using that as her finish, and that would make more sense.
Yeah. The one thing that was cool, like it's happened the two times it's happened where she like goes into a trance is when Michael Cole says the Fiend, and I'll be honest, I hope it leads. And I like Michael Cole. I know I'm in a minority when I say that, but I hope it leads to him getting getting the. I hope it leads to her doing that to him. You know what I
I
mean?
have a funny
I think
feeling in my gut, and I wanted to know what you thought of this too. What about them just letting her do this? Change. She's changing her character. I mean, it's like a Jekyll and Hyde thing, and it's really curious and it's really interesting. And this could be something like, and I want the chat and people watching and stuff put a comment in this. This is going to be curious for me. They could make this into a Becky-esque type of run, couldn't they? They could literally make her where Becky was before she got well. I'm her being pregnant is great. Any woman who has having a child is the most beautiful thing. And before that, her career was skyrocketing. They could put Alexa on the same path, just doing this, and having her in the middle of a match, because with COVID, you could hear the audio clearly, right?
Yeah.
And then somebody like, what late happened to Lacey? She said the Fiend and triggers it, Sister Abigail. And then she goes out and stands there, looks down in the whole trance aspect, puts her foot on the person's back, wins the match, and walks away. But what my gut's saying is that let her use Sister Abigail as her finish, as a secondary finish, and then have it split between two people. Is this going to lead to, and the question I have is your opinion, is this going to lead to her being full on tilt Sister Abigail? We saw a preview of that in the Swamp fight, and literally that went viral real fast.
Oh, I hope so. Like I think it'd be great. In a way, I think it'd be really good. I don't see her. I don't think she's gonna get on that Becky scale by any means. Um, I I don't. I honestly don't. The only. I don't think she can get that level. I just don't. Would it surprise me if she did? No. I just don't see it happening. Um, but I think it could get bigger. I think with having um Bailey, and granted, there's always a possibility, like Fightful reported, that there will be a draft still this year, but I don't see them having a huge star when you have Bailey, Sasha, Charlotte on one brand. Well, Charlotte's technically, I think, Raw. So,
If
but I just don't see that happening. It could, by all
if the
means,
reports are out
but
there that Ronda is interested in coming back and training with Piper's daughter, and I wanted to ask you, I wanted to see what you thought of this too, because I'll tell you what I think in a second. This could lead them to pulling that trigger, and you know the trigger I'm talking about, right?
is it the one with Naya, or are you talking like where she was defending?
No, the four horsewomen versus the four horsewomen
Oh yeah, well I didn't
in
know that's where you were
Hollywood,
going. I thought,
and that would make
yeah.
more sense. What's that old saying? The enemy of my enemy is my friend. They could set up the storyline where they already have three of the women there. They only need it for the MMA side. They just need Ronda to finish it to get into it, and it seems like the way it is that she's highly interested in coming back. Now that's
I
speculation at
don't.
this point.
The only problem there is, um, one, it, I don't know, and I'm not gonna say I don't know what Becky can and can't do. Um, did I lose
No,
you?
I'm here.
Okay. Um, I don't know. I don't know. Like, because I think if Ronda comes back, I think she wants to make money with Becky. You know, that's where the money's at. But when will we see Becky? I don't know.
If
And I'm saying this because I don't know.
if things
Is the
go right,
baby?
I think, and I don't know if Anakin or anybody else can look this up, or DMGC. Hell, even if
I don't.
Warren's
I
listening, chime in and let us know.
I don't think it's. But that's the thing. I don't know. I think that's early. That would be pushing it.
I
But
think
could
December is
she
when
do it?
she's due.
Sure.
Yeah,
Well, she's due in December, but I'm just saying that's 3 months after. Like I don't know because I'm just saying I don't know if it's gonna be time. Like I'm not saying she can't. Because I'm just saying I don't know. And if it's cutting close, then by all means, she's gonna be the one that knows. And I just don't want her to be. I just don't. I just want them to be safe more than
I
anything.
think if
But if she can do it, she can do
yeah,
it.
and I think after if they pull the trigger, it's fine. But it if they back to the whole thing with Alexa is that if they make her into that close range top conversation. I mean, right now in the COVID era, Bailey and Sasha are knocking it out. You have Asuka knocking it out on Raw. You've got Io killing it on NXT with Rhea right behind her. You need somebody to even it out. And SmackDown's heel heavy.
Oh
And
yeah.
we don't know if Alexa, and this is why I'm saying I'm curious about this, is because we don't know if Alexa's a face or heel. She's a tweener right now, but we don't know which way it's going. I hope that they let her keep doing this and building to create her own identity. Now, comic book wise, with what they're doing, it reminds me of 100% of Harley Quinn.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. That's when I saw her the other day. I was like, she has that that glare, like when she goes off and glares, and then when she starts smiling, that's basically the one of the more recent Harley Quinn storylines. Just the way, and I'm talking like within the past 5 years because I haven't read comics in about 3 or 4 years now. Um, but yeah, it is definitely Harley Quinn for sure.
Yeah, and I can't wait. It makes me curious about it. So, what do you think about that triple threat match? We'll be making our pick about the whole. I equate that whole scenario between Cena and Punk, where Sammy is the Punk role and Hardy. I'm sorry, you're in the Cena role, where basically both of them are saying they're the champion, and I'll tell you my pick. I think Sammy pulls this out, and
Oh yes, I think Sammy wins. I think it'd be good for Sammy, um, because his character um, is really good at
well,
what he's doing. You know, it's and it'd be good for his thing because they took the title off AJ really quick when you think about it, and so I don't think he's going to be getting it back. Um, Jeff Hardy, they could go that route, but I think Sammy's going to win, and I hope if he does win, I hope he gets. I would like him to get help from Shinsuke and Cesaro.
I
Uh,
I think the way this is going to play out is that Sammy's going to win, and that WWE has the perfect opportunity with Roman being who he is now, compared to when this match I'm going to tell you I'm thinking about when he was a face. AJ was quoted in an article, I think a long time ago, a while ago, that that whole segment's two series of matches is with matches he had with Roman and Cena made him more comfortable being in WWE. AJ is AJ. He can go either way. Roman, we already know where he's heading. God, just give me that match. Give me that same type of match where Roman is this guy where he gets up, just shows up, destroys everything, and then comes back out like that Samoan ass kicking son of a bitch. You know, I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm going to be swearing off and
no,
on. I need a
it was
jar.
yeah. I just thought it was funny, but um, no, I'll take it. I'm a AJ. I'm an AJ guy. So um, yeah, if he stays, I or and granted, I don't know when the draft's going to be, so I assume it's going to be before um, Survivor Series. So they would basically have to do it at Hell in a Cell, but we'll have to see. You know, it could happen. I think we're going to get. If I'm just doing an early prediction, I think because WWE loves to do the rematch or the rematch thing, or we might actually. It wouldn't surprise me if we get freaking Jay versus Roman in a Hell in a Cell match type thing,
I
and
I
you
I
know,
pray. I like that Oos is finally getting the spotlight that he so deserves. Him and his brother deserve it. But
fine
but
to an
I
extent.
think after this
Yeah,
pay-per-view coming up, I'm always gonna call it Night of Champions. I can't say what the initials are, even though I've been swearing up a storm tonight. Um, The god awful thing I think of that's most important is that you give us that AJ Roman. Now it could be Survivor Series. That would make sense if they did the split. But if you're gonna do champion versus champion on all three brands, you have right now Balor, you have McIntyre. Those two are not gonna change between now and then. And then you have Roman. Now,
Yeah.
if you're gonna pull this AJ trigger, it's either gonna be one of the major four. And if it's during the COVID era, AJ, and let's be all honest in the chat with the chat and stuff, AJ is the one legitimate pick that, other than Brock, Vince can use as in a case of emergency.
Oh, he has other. I mean, if you're talking like for title holders, maybe I don't even know if I
For
go with that
challengers,
because
just challengers, not title holders.
he could go with. He could for SmackDown site. He could go with. If he wanted to, he could go with Jeff
I
Hardy.
would love to see AJ. Like AJ's also said in some articles I've read
Oh,
that
yeah.
he's willing to go down to NXT to face Hunter.
Oh yeah.
Why not just do it for the NXT title and go after Balor?
Well, I'm like, to be honest, it
you did it with Charlotte.
Yeah, and it could happen eventually. I mean, hell, I think if you remember last year, when the Good Brothers and AJ went to NXT for that one episode or two, they were there for 2 episodes. The the ratings turned over for during those 2 shows.
Hell,
and then they went back to AEW. But
do a triple threat between Cole, Balor, and AJ. I mean,
oh yeah,
God, give us something new to see.
Yeah, you give me that. I don't need to take Blue Chew.
Oh boy, and I don't even have them as a sponsor.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And now watch the chat light up with Blue Chew segments, and
well, it should. But no, I mean that's. I remember 2 years ago the big rumor was that we were gonna, and it was a rumor, so it doesn't mean that it was gonna happen. But I got really excited when I read that there was, and like I said, it was talk. It didn't mean that it was gonna happen, but there were a lot of rumors that we were gonna get the Good Brothers, AJ and Finn versus Undisputed Era.
Yeah.
I mean, that was again. It was just rumors.
It could happen, maybe, like Balor and AJ against Cole and
but not with the Good Brothers.
No, not with them, but with Cole and someone else. I mean, you never know. But I think it should be interesting.
You already know I'm a huge mark for the Good Brothers.
Yeah, I know. You got nothing but
I don't get excited. I don't get excited much when somebody like retweets you and stuff. But I actually got pretty. It takes a lot, like I said. But when Luke Gallows retweeted that picture I made, that actually made me happy because he liked it, and I'm a huge Luke Gallows guy. I've liked him forever, except for the Festus thing. That sucked. But Luke Gallows, like when he was with CM Punk, I like that whole thing. Congratulations to Serena Deeb, who just signed with AEW. But yeah, that I've liked.
And I'm sorry for everybody. We haven't got into AEW. I don't think we will for tonight after that whole 30-minute thing.
Yeah, thanks to Raw. Yeah. Who would have thought Raw would ruin AEW?
I'm so sorry.
Well, from that aspect, not that. You know what I mean. You know what I'm trying to say. But yeah, it just that's what I wanted. I wanted the Good Brothers. I wanted the three guys, Carl, Luke, AJ, kind of like that SummerSlam or that Raw before SummerSlam when Finn Balor walked out and they're all just smiling at him. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
They're all smiling at Finn, and then Finn smiles back and just walks off. That is what I've always wanted. It's not going to happen. Luke always does say that when he's 60 and Vince calls him back to do another WrestleMania or go to Saudi Arabia, he'll do it. So
now Anakin has me hungry. You see what he said in the chat?
Biscuits and gravy.
Yeah, I'm hungry now. Bring. I wonder how far it is for him to ship cookies all the way from where he is to freaking Massachusetts. Now, yeah, all this cookie talk has me curious. But I we gotta make our picks. We've rammed and raved and complained and
That's the problem. I'm on here. I can't shut up.
bitch and moan about
Well,
WWE
this is the first
stuff.
time I've gone like bitching and moaning about them. But yeah, let's go ahead and do that.
Oh, wait a minute. Whoa, whoa,
Um,
whoa, whoa, whoa. Wait a minute on that comment, on that statement. Didn't you go off about WWE production on this show?
well, I'm talking about like no. What I meant like was from a standpoint of like storytelling. The 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 camera crap that was even bad last night. It was just as bad. I think the thing that people forgot about is you had fucking waffle guy, whatever his name was. What do they call him? C. You got R. I don't even remember their stupid names
Yeah,
anymore.
well,
But you got Olive Garden, you got C Pain and Tupac and the other one. I don't know their names. I can't. Mace.
anyways,
Jesus. But
yeah.
they made. Oh, it's right in front of me. T-Bar, Slapjack, and
Oh,
Mace. Jesus
God.
Christ, those are awful.
Um,
Yeah. But still, but what I'm saying is the camera aspect. Nobody. There were some people that bitched and moaned about it, like I did, and it's awful. It needs to stop for the love of God, but it won't because it's a punishment
well,
for us bitching and moaning about Raw.
and said, let's make our picks. I always have you on pay per view week before pay per view picks because it's
Okay.
always fun for us to see
Yeah.
if we're right or wrong.
Uh, sure. Oscar versus Lena Vega.
Oh, come
I got Oscar.
on.
Well, I have to ask.
No, I know that, but I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Asuka's gonna
Yeah.
win, and they don't even know what to do with her, which is sad. Hey, what they really need to do with Hell in a Cell coming up, Survivor Series coming up, because your women's side is that we don't know if Io or Rhea is going to be the champion at that point for NXT. We don't know if Sasha and Bailey will be a championship, but we definitely know Asuka will be. So I'm gonna stay with Asuka for this. But I don't think anybody except for Bianca is ready for Asuka.
Okay. Gotcha. Raw Tag Team Champions. We got our championship. You got Street Profits versus
We
Andrade and
want the
Angel.
smoke.
I'm going with Andrade and Angel.
Oh, really? Why?
Well, I just think
After that whole bullshit.
Oh no, don't get me wrong. I like the Street Profits. It's just I'm going with WWE booking. I'm going with crap that doesn't make sense right now. But that'll change in a second with this next match. Did you? So you're going Street Profits,
Oh
right?
yeah, no, I want that
Okay.
smoke.
Okay.
How about this? Can we
You have
change that
smoke.
on the show? Every time you're on and they're on and the Street Profits and they say we want the smoke, be like, can I have a Guinness? Especially on St. Patrick's Day. By the way, if I have St. Patrick's Day off, I am doing a show. I will do a show.
Okay. So the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. This is where my what makes sense stuff goes out the window. Cesaro and Shinsuke versus Lucha House Party. I have Cesaro and Shinsuke retaining.
Yeah, I do too. It doesn't make any sense to do it when Lucha House Party is going to end up breaking up with Kalisto moving on to a singles run.
Did you know he's the only pro wrestler that has blocked me, and I've never said anything about him negative.
I only have one person blocked on me, and I'm just happy about that. And it's not a pro wrestler.
But no, I'm just saying, like, I've never said one word about him, and I did find out. Somebody told me like what happened was. He did something on Raw, and during Raw, like whenever somebody mentioned something, like somebody just went on a Twitter ban, like they blocked a lot of people. I know Jesse the Buckeye was one of the other people that got blocked that night.
Why would you? And I'll be honest, have you been checking out Steven Jensen's Twitch streams at time?
I haven't, fortunately.
He's really good with playing Fall Guys. Now I'm hooked watching about playing Fall Guys. But I'm interesting to see, like, why do these people think it's okay to block really good people? It's like, we
And it's not a big deal to me. Like I just thought it was something funny. Like,
but for me it's like
because I have
it's the
tons of
being okay with my communications major. I had to take a psychology class. It part of me is like that. You've yelled at me once or twice saying stop being analytical, and that's the truth. But I'm a curious person by nature. I just
oh yeah,
wonder why about all this stuff. And Jesse's a sweet person, you know. People just why? Um,
why are people assholes? It's just because they can get away with it more than ever, and that's what's awful. Because I guarantee you, they wouldn't do it. They wouldn't do it if she was like right in front of them. Like at she went to give you an example. She went to Starcast in Vegas last year, and she took pictures with people that recognized her, I believe, if my memory is right. And like, I don't think she dealt with anything negative, but when she like, this is just the way people are. They attack, and I mean, we could. This is another show, like, but
we have
it's
so
just the
many
way it
shows
is.
between you and
Yeah,
me. We have to film.
yeah,
It's like a laundry
yeah. We
list.
could go on daily, but what I'm saying is, I will never get it. And that's the same thing. Sean gets them too. Like I've had them. Like people
The
go after me for those stupid
the
photoshops.
one person who's blocked me was somebody in college that just so happened stumbled upon me, and I found out about it, and that made me laugh because I was in college.
But
I'm a different person
yeah,
now, but
yeah.
it literally gives me the giggles every time I think about it because it's like,
Mm,
you know, there's very few
yeah.
people, and I'm glad to say this. The community we have has allowed me to be more who I am on camera and just in general. And I wanted to tell you,
Not
you, and I'll tell who I'm going to announce my. It's already out of the bag, anyways, but I'm doing it on camera. It's just you and Sean. Warren's helped a lot, and the community in general has literally let me get out of my shell compared to where I was a year ago. Now, the story I'm going to tell tomorrow, and I will tell more about the story next Tuesday. Sean is going to explain what's happened to me in the past year, all of that stuff. I digress because, you know, we still have to make our picks,
yeah.
but
Um,
it'll be really in touching and depth, and the show's going to be an hour with Sean and next week, and I'm excited to
yeah.
do that.
That's cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It'll be good. WWE Women's Tag Team Championships: Nia Jax and Shayna
Give me the
Baszler
Riot
versus
Squad.
Riot
Riot
Squad.
Squad.
Yep, same here. Going there. Bailey versus Nikki Cross. I'm going
Um,
Bailey.
so this is the scenario I'm thinking. We're gonna go with Bailey. People are saying they think Sasha's gonna do something. I think they should keep Sasha off
Oh,
TV,
absolutely.
but until
Yeah.
at least Survivor Series. Now, and she's in the Mandalorian. The trailer just dropped, and I really
Yeah.
think they should use that angle of her character saying, yeah, as Bailey getting jealous, said, "I was using you" and stuff like that, and Sasha throwing her face. Well, I was in a Disney production, and use that to just
Yeah.
put it in there. What's up, Jobber? Um, and the thing about it is just putting that nail in and digging it, right? But
Yeah.
if they were smart, because the streaming on Disney Plus and drops on the 30th of October, have her come back for Survivor Series because she's gonna have to do press for that,
Yeah.
and then build it up
Oh, I agree.
to
Yeah.
how it is, and then Bailey will be
Oh,
passing.
yeah. You could definitely do that. Like, and there's gonna be some little kids watching. Like, they're gonna like her. They're gonna be like, "Oh, that's I don't know her character name is in Mandalorian, but they'll see her and then they might actually watch WWE.
You put two and two together, basically.
Or if they go based off last night, maybe their parents punish them by making them watch Raw. But um, anyways, yeah, I could
Goddamn
see that.
fucking
But
Raw.
I'm going with Bailey too. Um, Intercontinental Championship: Jeff Hardy versus AJ Styles versus Sami Zayn. I'm going Sami Zayn.
Yeah, same. But what I was
Okay.
trying to touch on is that what they would need to do is give Alexa to Bailey and let her I know it's like the Fiend aspect, but have it where both of them come out strong. And because other than Naomi, who's the other person that Bailey hasn't faced on for a
Yeah.
championship title? So, um,
Yeah.
I think Zayn's gonna do it and unify both of the titles, which will put Zayn on an island because he'll be the perfect IC heel that we haven't had in a while.
Yeah, for sure. Well, since he left.
Well, I'm saying like in
um,
general. I mean, think about it. When's
yeah.
the IC title that was like pure on hated heel? I mean, Miz was close, is the closest thing. And I think if they do anything, I'm gonna say this: they're gonna add Otis and Miz into this mix, and they're gonna have Miz win the briefcase because it's WWE.
Yeah.
Miz's work
Yeah.
is outstanding, and it's not a detriment to him. But if they do
Well,
that,
Vince has to ruin that. Vince has to move them to Raw so we can ruin that tag team too. But so we got WWE United States Championship: Bobby Lashley versus Apollo
I hope
Crews. I
Cruz.
think, I actually think Bobby retains.
I hope Cruz just to give
Um,
him be like, hey, you
well,
deserve it. But it,
the good thing is, if you are right, we'll get 34 more matches of those two going at it, so that's
I'm
good.
hoping that they give it to Cruz and then have him turn on Ricochet and then let both of them just go at a program. But the ultimate dream match I have, and it's been on record, and I'll say this straight out, is that
Brock Lesnar versus Gilbert.
oh fuck no,
No, okay, I was close.
not even. This is
Okay.
like a middle card dream match that I have, is and they're on the same brand. Why not? If Lee is not going to go, if they're not going to put the title on Lee, obviously because of Drew, give him Apollo. Let him and Apollo fight over the United States title. Imagine how awesome those matches. Now, those are pay-per-view valued matches. I've even stated in super chats last year that it should be on NXT. They should send Apollo down last year and put him in NXT to face Lee. This could actually happen, and this is one of those matches in programs I would literally sit there and just be in awe of.
It really depends if Keith Lee is part of this Retribution thing or not. And I mean, that's the
Well,
thing. Some
he
people
is,
think he
so
will be, but it doesn't make any damn sense because of last night. So
yeah. So
yeah, but that's the thing. That's why people think it could happen, because it doesn't make any damn sense for them to ruin his match last night.
so what's next on the card?
Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso. I think we know the answer to this one. Roman
I would be
retains.
the asshole to say Jay just to piss people off, but it's gonna be Roman, and Roman's gonna say that he's the stronger of the family members and stuff.
Uh, yep, and WWE Championship match in the ambulance match, Drew versus Randy Orton.
It's gonna be
Uh,
it's gonna be a DQ, and Lee's gonna do something about it.
yeah, I think he retains. So I'm gonna go with Drew. So I think the only two that we were different on was Bobby Lashley and Apollo Crews, and then Street Profits versus Andrade and Angel Garza.
I'm just sick of Garza and all that jazz.
Oh, and the Intercontinental. I think you said you had Jeff winning or AJ.
No, I had the same as you, Sammy.
Oh, you did. Okay, yeah, we had Sammy. Okay, so those were the only two. So we'll have to see how that goes. The only other thing that I was gonna bring up, and I already forgot what it was, so it's not that big of a deal, obviously.
That you love doing your match
Oh,
memories, and it was awesome.
oh yeah, well, yeah, two things. Yeah, I got to do the match memories last week with you, which was awesome. Basically, what we did, we covered
Chi-Town 89. When I said
thanks.
98,
Yeah, Chi-Town, Chi-Town Rumble, Ricky the Dragon versus Ric Flair. The reason I chose that match was because that was like one of the first matches that I actually remember jumping out of my chair when I was a kid. Like I wasn't anticipating being like really into that match. It was so good. Um, and that was probably that was probably one of the first NWA WCW matches I ever watched. What I mean, it's up there. it has to be one of the early matches. But being able to see that, that brings back memory. That's probably the first best wrestling match I watched. And I know I did watch like some, I didn't get to see Randy versus Dreamboat until I was a little bit older. So I'm just talking about from that time frame when I was that age. That was
It
what
was
did it.
awesome just
And
covering,
that,
yeah. It
yeah, and you
made you
get
appreciate what a lot of
yeah,
that stuff back then. And it
yeah, and you
can,
get to see a younger Teddy Long.
yeah, and also mistakes from you saying who the ref was too. Uh, but Anakin wanted to know what would be the punishment for the losing the predictions. They were,
That the loser has to rewatch that Raw.
fuck no,
Yeah, see, it's not worth it.
no.
I don't really have betas. If it was like I could imagine doing something around Survivor Series, but yeah,
I
this one it's
I think if we
mm,
did any prediction show and we put a bet on it, knowing my luck, I'd probably lose. I mean, think about it. Like seriously, everybody think about it. I have a Bengals
yeah.
jersey sitting in my upstairs right
I'll
now.
be honest. If you ever, and this is, I don't want to make this sound rude or bad, but if you give me betting advice, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going the other
Yeah,
way.
no, I've
It's the
already
way.
had friends tell me
It's
that.
nothing personal. It's just you know, it's it's just the way you. I don't want to give money away, so I'm going to do opposite. Out of all due respect.
Yeah, no, but I got much love for you, my friend.
Yeah, and I appreciate you letting me come on and making another show go an hour or longer, but it's not as long as last time, so that's good. I'm getting a little bit better.
How
And
the
just
hell is Tim and Joel saying that the loser has to sit an entire episode of their show? Their show's good.
yeah, I like it. I've watched it.
Uh,
My nose is
and I'll
itching, so
say this much: I'm very proud for them getting that PW Insider gig.
nice. Congrats. I did not see
Yeah,
that.
they got that as part. They partnered with them. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little jealous, but I am very excited for it. For
Oh, that's
two
good
good
though.
guys.
Oh, good job, guys. I had no idea.
Yeah, especially
Awesome.
with the whole technical glitch on the ride along. And I figured out the problem with that is that OBS and stuff like that couldn't handle it in my computer, so I kind of want to apologize to them on screen for that. Anyways, I feel better.
Yeah.
um, Leave us a comment, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, tap that bell for notifications, put it to all, not personal, because obviously it's sometimes you won't get them. Try to get this video to 100 likes. That way we can get more traffic on it. It seems like the traffic's slowly climbing up. I've kind of seen a little bit of progression on it. And trust me, I appreciate everything you guys do. This ain't nothing like a mod party because a mod party don't stop. So I can't wait for next week. I can't wait for tomorrow. Tomorrow I will be recording with Wild Boy, and it will hopefully I will be dropping that on Saturday. I am going to try to release that as a YouTube premiere video, and it's going to be titled "Wicked Crazy Pinfalls Podcast Anchor FM Wilding Out with Wild Boy," and hopefully he's smiling ear to ear right now. The following Tuesday, a week from today, start spreading the word. I said this earlier. In that match memory, he is the phenomenal SRS. He is the Dong Lord. He is the man who is gonna kill no profanity. September, a week from.
Oh, is he that guy that's on that show with Denise?
Yeah.
I've heard of him.
Uh,
Pretty good.
yeah, and we'll get a DM soon. It will
Yeah, that's
be
fine.
the day before no profanity ends.
I actually think he'll keep it going. I really do. I know that sounds weird, but that's a bet I would not take though. So
No, I've already lost too many bets with Sean. Yeah, no.
yeah.
But I'm highly excited. One of the things we'll talk about on that show is I'm gonna open up a little bit. I might even start the stream a little bit, just me, and then have him come on, or we'll talk about it. We'll figure that out. But I'm gonna talk about how I found Fightful, and now how the impact of what he went through happened in mine. I will talk about that with Wild Boy tomorrow. Um, Considering Fightful has the Fightful family has welcomed me with open arms in the past year or so, over a year and a half or so. Um, and then back on there again on the audio side, the first ever, ever, yes, I quoted Jericho, roundtable. I am very excited for this. I want to thank Rob on camera for doing it. We are going to have Wild Boy, Rob, and hopefully confirmed Hannah Moore. Rob just perked up.
No, she's awesome. I like her. She's cool.
The roundtable is going to be discussing, and basically I'm going to do this every month with different people. Now, this is going to be the first one with 4 people from the Fightful family, all mods. The second one I'm hoping to do is get maybe 2 or 3 people up there, and the conversations will be the state of wrestling in that point and talking about other things. But it'll be something I've talked to Sean about that I've wanted to do. I've talked to Rob about it ad nauseum at times, and I apologize. But it will be something different to give you guys, and that stuff will be on YouTube in the audio form, and everything will be great.
I won't be wearing pants. Just tell you right now.
Too much information there.
No, not really. We need to start pushing my OnlyFans site. Okay.
You just did.
Let's do this. No, yeah. And I'm kidding, folks. Don't go looking for it because we'll both be end up being disappointed. But yeah, that's it, man. I'm good. Thank you for letting me be on the show.
Tell them where you can find them.
You can find me at Rob Wilkins on Twitter. Otherwise, you can always find me in the Fightful Facebook group. I am one of the mods along with Kyler and Hannah, actually. So, yeah, other than that, man, thank you for letting me bitch and moan for a while.
Well, we both needed this after last night's show. I have so much hope for the future for this show, and this is literally has become a gateway to help me, and I appreciate you, Rob, as a friend and being on problem. There. I appreciate everybody. I am also going to announce this now. Anakin JMT is going to be doing a match memory soon. WrestleMania 23, he's going to be covering. We're going to talk about that. It's going to be the same format I did with Rob. I've changed the format because of the fact that I thought it should be more personal, certain things, aspects of it. And then Tim and Joel will be hopefully recording one each, and then I'm trying to line up November. I'm trying to keep busy, but the one in November, I might just do it live, Rob. Why not, right? Just do a match memory live for once, especially on her birthday. We'll talk about my mom.
Yeah.
And
sounds good, man.
We'll do the audio part 2 and go from there. 8:00 Tuesday, week from today. Sean Sapp will be here. I'm very excited for a friend to come in, and a busy guy, very, very busy guy, to take some time off away. And it's going to be very exciting. Like I said, go check out the Fightful stuff. Like I say every week, every Saturday is going to be awesome. I'm going to tell you this much: I am doing a review show with Mr.Warren Hayes on his show. That will be fun. That's at 11. And then then also, like I was trying to say, is check out Fightful.com, Fightful MMA. I've been trying to catch stuff here and there. It's really good. I'm not a huge MMA fan, but reading some of the stuff is interesting. Jeremy just announced he's streaming for Fightful on the Fightful gaming side, or the Fightful on Fightful's site, for him doing Battleground, I believe, after Smackdown. That is interesting. I was on the live. I was there watching the live stream. I think Ron was on there too, and we were watching him play 2K and just having fun talking. Um, you know, Friday tomorrow, Warren, Alex, and Louie are all doing everything. Yeah, it's gonna be Warren's prediction show. We're gonna They're doing the Monday Night War, the Wednesday Night Wars. I keep saying Monday, I'm so used to old school. Smackdown is on Friday, and then we got the pay-per-view on Sunday, man. It's going to be fun, and then we got another one right afterwards. So be kind, do a good deed. Check out Match Memories with Rob. It was really good to do. Check out the other ones. Tap the bell for notifications. Subscribe. Give it a like. Let's try to get these likes up to 100. Try to get YouTube to notice the show more. It's doing a great job on going upswing. Happy birthday, Roddy. You're my best friend. You're a good guy, and you've been there between front and back. Thank you, Rob. Thank you, everybody. Be safe. Do a good deed. I feel better, man.